moving quickly, another handoff to Rankin. Rankin finds a hole, he's at the 30, makes it to the 20, he's got one man to beat. Rankin walks into the end zone. Into the backfield, Braden Wright looks over top, he's going to try to find a man, he's got Alec Tatum. Tatum bobbles it, but he's in the end zone. What a connection between Braden Wright and Alec Tatum. Handoff to Rankin, Rankin right up the middle, and he's in the end zone for a Bearcat touchdown.
You that the views expressed in today's show do not reflect the views of KZLX, KNWT, or Northwest Missouri State University. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the show.
The weekend sports kickoff, Sam Steinmeier, Sam Reeves, Grant Allen, and Stephen Mers with you on KZLX. Also streaming live on the KNWT Facebook page. As we just got done with some Bearcat sports talk, now we'll get into some Division I college basketball. As we'll go through the top 25 here, as really no surprise, number 1 and 2 still Gonzaga and Baylor. As really, guys, it's a race for third right now.
Yeah, I mean, Baylor looks strong. Gonzaga showed early in the year just how strong they were, and now they're just showing that they can dominate their conference like they do every year.
Yeah, and they showed that they can dominate the top 25 earlier in the year by, I think they won 4 top 20 matchups, and that was the first. That was the most in like a span of I think that was the most in a non-conference schedule ever, or some along those lines. It was some type of record, but Gonzaga definitely showing that the whole like narrative of Gonzaga doesn't play anyone, that is over.
Yeah,
like that's over.
It's even over a little bit in the WCC. The WCC is getting a lot more respect nationally, rightfully so. Is it as good as all those power conferences? No, of course they're not. But teams like BYU, St. Mary's, San Francisco, and Pepperdine are all respectable teams now, which is good because that makes Gonzaga's record in conference and teams that will make the tournament like BYU will. Their record, that'll make that look better as well. So it's good to see the WCC is getting better because that makes teams like Gonzaga look better too.
Yeah, I know, Sam. Me and you are always, the WCC is a lot better than people think. Like we're always, trying to push that narrative, and since both of our teams are in that conference, but not many people try to listen to us. But I think they're going to have to now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, there will only be 2 teams out of the WCC that make the tournament. But
maybe St. Mary's will.
Maybe they got a shot. But, I mean, the good thing is there's a lot of teams like San Francisco that had a couple of good wins in the non-conference. Pepperdine always plays people tough. So I think it's a good thing for all of college basketball to have those other conferences because I think they have
It's no surprise, 1 and 2 still Gonzaga and Baylor at 1 and 2 respectively. It's really just a race for third right now, and leading that race for third is Michigan, as there's definitely a noticeable gap between those two and the rest of the field.
Yeah, there are. I mean, Baylor and Gonzaga are.
We mention it every week.
But it's worth mentioning again because of how legitimate this gap is.
Yeah.
Not that teams like Michigan and Ohio State, which I love that those big rivals are back-to-back in the rankings, by the way.
That's cool.
But not that they're bad teams, but it's just how good Gonzaga and Baylor really are. And that's, it's unbelievable how impressive both those teams are playing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Michigan at third. They're winning the race for third right now, as don't really expect Gonzaga and Baylor to fall in this season, to be honest. Maybe Baylor falls because they play in a tougher conference. But nonetheless, Michigan at 3, Ohio State at 4. Villanova rounds out the top 5 at number 5, as now Illinois goes to 6 as they jumped up 6 spots from last week. Also jumping up 6 spots from last week is Texas Tech at 7. So a lot of Big Ten, a lot of Big 12, and one Big East in there, but the Big Ten and the Big 12 really dominate the top 10, really.
That they do. It's worth noting, and the fact that the SEC, is all the way down there at 10 is also, I think, an interesting tidbit.
Yeah, there's, and also at 8, Houston, so an American Athletic Conference team in there. Houston dropped down 3 spots from number 5 after falling to East Carolina. And at 9 is Virginia, and at 10, that SEC school. Missouri probably going to fall after the loss to Ole Miss. Before we take a break here, I just wanted to Who do you guys think? I want to get. Who do you guys think are going to make the Final Four? Who's your Final Four? David, I'll start with you. Who's your Final Four? Just looking at the bracket, going through it. Who's the Final Four?
At each region individually?
No, just the total Final
teams.
Four.
Okay.
And of all 68.
Gotcha.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like this is cliche. Baylor's just looks really, really good right now. And really, there's no one that I see that could blame. Illinois, maybe. Houston has had a couple games where they've been struggling, but Baylor just looks good. So I'll choose them out of that region.
Baylor.
Let's see. It's hard because you always feel like you just need to choose the 1 seeds when that never happens.
You know that's never going to happen.
You're exactly right. Yeah, that's why it's so tough.
I mean, I don't. Iowa might, if they're on at the right time, if Garza's going off, Iowa could get that in the Region 1.
I'm sorry, against Gonzaga?
No. Sam's a big Gonzaga guy.
Gonzaga has already beaten Iowa, so
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that would. I don't think that would happen.
You never know, though.
Yeah, you know.
It is March. You never know. But as much as I just don't want to hear, I just don't want to imagine it.
I know you don't.
That's fair.
So Baylor, are you gonna take Iowa in that region?
No, I'm gonna take that. I don't want to take all 1 seed. So I'll say
Baylor, Iowa.
I'm in favor.
Man, Arkansas looks good.
That's what I was thinking.
I was gonna take
They
Arkansas.
look really good right now.
I was thinking Region 4.
That's where I was going.
And then, man, I haven't. What I've seen in Michigan, there just hasn't been a lot of weaknesses.
Michigan, so Baylor, Iowa, Arkansas, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
That's
as much as it pains me as a Mizzou fan to choose Arkansas. That's,
I was gonna say.
I was thinking Gonzaga, Baylor because they're just above everyone else. I know they're 1 seeds and I know it's March, but they're just above everyone else.
They really are.
Gonzaga, Baylor, my 1 and 2, for the Final Four. I think Arkansas also, has a really good shot at getting in. I think they can make a run. So Gonzaga, Baylor, Arkansas for me, and in the Region 3, I really think Texas Tech could possibly make a run. So I'm going to take Texas Tech. Gonzaga, Baylor, Arkansas, and Texas Tech.
I'm going to go Gonzaga, Baylor, Arkansas, and Florida State.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Steven?
Gonzaga, Baylor, and I'm going to switch it up here. I think Alabama.
Alabama?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
that's a good pick.
Yeah, Arkansas is heating up, but the Alabama team's really good, and they've definitely shown more signs of greatness than this Arkansas team has. I know as of late Arkansas's turned it on, but they just haven't shown the overall consistency. Mm-hmm. But then again, I know nothing about college basketball. So I'm going to take Alabama for Region 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and take Michigan. I'm torn between Michigan and then I really like Texas.
Texas.
I really like Texas.
We haven't talked much about them, but they really got a good team.
When Texas is on, they can beat anybody in the nation. Really.
I would say horns up. I'll take Texas just because I don't want to take number 1.
Okay.
Horns up, baby.
So those are our hypothetical Final Fours, and that'll do it.
That'll never happen either.
And this bracket is all subject to change.
Yeah.
It'll change by the time we talk on next Friday. So that'll do it for our bracketology talk. We'll go through the actual bracket as I'm assuming everyone did what I did for the first 5 days of the tournament, from Thursday to Monday.
Thursday to Monday.
All I did was sit on my couch and watch basketball. Is that what everyone else did?
Glued to the TV. Yeah.
Had 2 TVs going in the living room.
A lot of screaming and yelling going on though.
Yeah.
A lot of those games did not go how I thought they'd go.
I know one game you're probably talking about. UConn, Maryland.
Yes.
Was there a lot of screaming during that game?
UConn never led, and I had them in my national championship. So.
Yeah. It's rough, Sam. It's rough. But that's how everyone is in March. Everyone's bracket gets busted. Everyone's bracket was busted. I'm pretty sure day 2.
Day 2.
By day 2, there were no more perfect brackets.
That's ridiculous.
And that was thanks in part to Oral Roberts being an absolute stud, going all the way to the Sweet 16 to take on Arkansas. And I just want to key in on Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts took on Arkansas earlier this year. They did, I think in January. Mm-hmm. And they led them by 10 at halftime.
Yep.
Oral Roberts was up 40-30 at the half against Arkansas. So earlier this year. So there is, you can't write off Oral Roberts.
No.
They might win this game.
I mean, they've gotten this far, so
and become the first ever 15 seed to make the Elite Eight.
No, I wouldn't write him off.
I wouldn't write him off
Absolutely
either.
not. Nobody thought they'd get this far, and here they are. So at this point, you can't write them off.
I really hope, and the best case scenario for me is Gonzaga Oral Roberts national championship.
Not happening.
Because I get the best of both. I get the best of both worlds. If Gonzaga wins, I'm happy. They won the national championship. My team won the national championship.
But if they lose, your team lost to Oral Roberts.
But if they lose, though, they lost to a 15 seed, and I can't be that upset about
Yes, you
that.
can. They lost
no,
to
I
Oral
can't.
Roberts.
You can.
I can't because it's a 15 seed, and that's awesome. That a
Okay.
15 seed
That's
won the
fair.
national
That would
championship.
be incredible.
Time to get into some NFL news, as there's a lot going on today in the NFL. I mean, first off, let's just start off with the free agency signings that's been going on. There's been a lot so far. The Giants signed Kenny Golladay, Adoree Jackson, and Kyle Rudolph. So bolstering the offense a little bit, getting Danny Dimes
Some weapons.
some weapons, and also bolstering the defense a little bit. Adoree Jackson, a good piece in the secondary to get. So, the NFC East is not going to be as terrible as it was this year.
They might not be the NFC least anymore.
They're not the NFC least. They're still not
debatable.
going to be a great division,
No.
but they're going to be better.
They'll be the NFC
And the winner
mediocres.
of this division will be above 500.
I'm interested to see how Kyle Rudolph's going to play off coming off that foot injury because I thought he still had a surgery to go.
He may still. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, they might have snagged him. Sometimes players come
But-
off injuries and have those big seasons.
Yeah.
But that's to me is a little.
And Kyle
concerning.
Rudolph, one of the better tight
That's what I mean.
ends in the NFL. I was surprised when Minnesota let him go.
Well, that's just kind of how they do things up there.
I guess, yeah. You know all
Coming from a
about it.
Packer fan.
But Kenny Golladay also very good signing. Adoree Jackson also not on the rundown here, but also one that they signed, John Ross. So
Yes.
a speedster, maybe in the slot, could be good for Danny Dimes streaking down the field.
I don't
Maybe
think he can get on the ball.
I don't know.
though.
I think John Ross can get enough space as further down the field to maybe Danny Dimes can't. Won't have to throw it that far. Maybe he'll get some space early.
That would be ideal.
Yeah, that'd be ideal. Also, Sam, for your JETS Jets, I see you put some in here. Carl Lawson and LaMarcus Joyner. I'm going to be honest, I've heard of LaMarcus Joyner. That name is familiar. I don't know who Carl Lawson is.
Carl Lawson's a D end, I believe. Yeah,
That's
he
what I
wasn't
thought.
bad.
The
I think
name
he played
kind
on
of
the
sounded
Bengals.
familiar, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, they're not huge moves for the Jets, but they're improvements.
They're both defensively, correct?
Yes, they are, yeah.
Well, they're going to the Jets. We probably won't hear about them.
That's probably true.
They
But
do play in the New York market, so unfortunately, yes, we will hear about
Yeah,
them. They
that's
may or may
true.
not be good things.
they need to move to New Jersey so they get out of the New
Well,
York.
they already are in New Jersey.
Yeah, but they need to officially move there.
They need to be the New Jersey Jets
They
now?
need to be the New Jersey Jets.
But I
Yes.
definitely
They are.
like the moves by the Jets though. Definitely taking a stride in the right direction.
They're
There really
making-
was
they're
no
making
way to go,
improvements.
or only one way to go.
There's
but,
nowhere to go but up. For the
Yeah,
Jets.
exactly. And I think this is definitely a right choice.
Definitely.
But what the Jets have been doing in the past, which I don't understand, is they've been at the bottom, and you're right, there's only one way to go but up, but instead they just stay there. They just stay
Yeah,
at the
they
bottom.
just
They don't,
stalemate.
they don't go anywhere. So
Yeah.
now at least they are taking the elevator up a couple of floors, which is a good thing, instead
Yeah.
of just staying at the bottom.
I'd like to think that.
No, I mean, they're making the moves to go up a little bit. It's slow. They'll
They'll be
up
better this
slowly,
year.
but
They'll definitely be better this year.
for sure. They
They
have
still
to be.
might be in the basement of the AFC East, but they'll be better.
They'll be better, which is all you can really ask for at this point.
Also in the NFC East, the Cowboys signed two former Atlanta Falcons safeties, Keanu Neal and DeMonte KZ. Both both going to Dallas probably to follow Dan Quinn, their new defensive coordinator. So I mean, the Atlanta defense was never really very good, but there has been a lot of injury prone players in that defensive set. So, but Keanu Neal and Devontae KZ, definitely serviceable safeties. They're not terrible.
No, I
So-
like Keanu Neal a lot.
Keanu Neal's terrific.
He's-
actually.
yeah,
Keanu
he
Neal's
is.
good. Devontae KZ, step below Keanu Neal, but not bad.
Keanu Neal, he flies around the field. He'll hit anyone. I like
A hard
that.
hitting safety.
I like
That's
that
what you need
addition
for a
lot.
defense.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And they already know Dan Quinn's scheme. They already know what type of defense he's going to want to run. So they're going to fit in good in Dallas. And they're going to. I don't think they're going to struggle that much because they've already played for this coach.
Yeah, I like that, Sam. And, a little familiarity comes with that, a little more confidence in how they play. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Cowboys definitely, I hate to say it, they might be making a move here that might help them because the defense was lackluster last year,
defense
to say the
was,
least.
especially in the secondary.
Yeah.
And at number 10, it's looking like they might get Patrick Surtain. So if they can get Patrick Surtain
Cowboys might be up to something.
to go along with Keanu Neal, DeMonte KZ, and get a reunion with Diggs. Trayvon Diggs. Yep. That defense, not going to be great, but looking toward the future, may be pretty good. But only time will tell with the Dallas Cowboys. And usually time isn't very kind with the Cowboys, as I know all too well. But, a couple signings to help the defense. Also helping out the defense is the Las Vegas Raiders. They signed Yannick Ngakoue, defensive end, formerly of the Jaguars. I think wasn't he with the Seahawks this year? Did he get traded?
He was somewhere else.
He wasn't with the Jaguars this year, I know.
Was he with Baltimore?
That's it. He was with Baltimore.
Yeah.
He was with Baltimore, and he did well.
He's a player I like a lot too.
He's if I was you, if I were you, Sam and Sam Reeves over there, I would be if I was the two Chiefs fans, Sam's, I'd be a little scared of this because especially with the Chiefs' offensive line struggles, obviously the offensive line is going to be better than it was in the Super Bowl this year, but that still Yannick Ngakoue is a very good rusher on that edge and could get to the quarterback very well. And so, I'd be scared that, he was going to pressure Patrick Mahomes all day.
Yeah, Ngakoue, he's one of those guys. He doesn't take a play off. He gets after it. He's one of those guys that's kind of scary when you got a guy like Mahomes because, anytime he gets sacked, he's trying to rip someone's head off.
Definitely.
But that's a good addition for the Raiders. I think they'll be exciting to watch next year.
And, some more news, the Tampa Bay re-signed Leonard Fournette today. And with that, they have signed every single starter back to their team.
Was the first time since, 78?
79, I think. Tampa Bay has brought back all 22 starters from their Super Bowl team.
Scary.
I like that, though.
That's scary.
I wish the Chiefs would do stuff like that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
it's not usual that everyone gets along like that, and
but
money-wise.
On one hand, you have Tom Brady, who is willing to take a pay cut to win the Super Bowl, and then on the Chiefs, they gave $500 million to one player.
They're writing one check.
That does play a role
to one player. So
bit.
It's a little different with that contract. They can't really do that.
Yeah,
I wish they could. And Mahomes does deserve that money, but it's like
I think that all 22 players signing speaks volumes about Tom Brady too.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes.
It speaks volumes about Tom Brady too because everyone wanted to come back because Tom Brady's there. Because they know the culture that he brings and the winning mentality that he has.
He's just a total package.
Yeah, they know they can win another one.
And he's so smart. He's basically like a coach out there.
Yeah,
he's a coach playing quarterback.
And he's a great dude. Like, they probably love being around him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Did you see the parade?
Yeah.
When you're winning, it's hard to complain.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. When you're in a beautiful city like Tampa Bay, where the weather's always good,
where they need to build a new baseball stadium.
That too.
Tom Brady needs to get in on that.
Well, because when Patrick Mahomes can send out a tweet and then 3 months later there's 5 Whataburgers in Kansas City. So Tom Brady needs to tweet, "Hey, Tampa Bay, can we get a new baseball stadium, please?"
Yeah. If Patrick Mahomes, let's go down with our NCAA tournament talk. Now we're getting into some of the MLB, and fellas, I know we're all baseball fans.
Mm-hmm.
Opening day is less than a week away. We've nearly made it.
It's unbelievable. We're so close. We're so close. It's so
almost turned the corner.
It's like it's almost, you reach out, you almost touch it.
Oh yeah, I remember being a kid and being 4th, 5th grade, and baseball season rolled around. I was like, summer is almost here.
Summer's
get
almost
me out of
here.
here. It was a great
School's
feeling.
almost over. Baseball's here.
It's the best feeling in the world.
It is the best feeling in the world. And we'll start off our MLB talk talking about Salvador Perez, part of the Royals. He gets the richest deal in Royals history, really cementing, probably ending his career.
Well-deserved.
In Kansas City. Well-deserved. Best catcher the Royals have ever seen, honestly. He's the best catcher in the bigs right now, and he's the best catcher the Royals probably have ever seen.
He's the second best in the big leagues right now. JT Realmuto's.
He's the best. No, he's better than JT Realmuto.
No, I disagree.
Better. He's not as good with the bat.
I'm a Royals fan, and I say
he's not as good with the bat, but he's better with the glove and the arm.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, JT Realmuto's better. I mean, baseball experts will tell you JT Realmuto's
Well,
better.
I can go round and round with baseball experts all day. I'm taking Salvador Perez 10 times out of 10.
Well, good for you. And I love Salvi. I'm a huge Salvi fan, but and he deserves the money because he is a top 3 catcher in baseball. That you cannot argue that. Whatever order you put it in, great. But I mean, I would even say that he's undoubtedly a top 2 catcher in baseball. So he deserves 4 years, $82 million. And that's what he's getting.
And for what he's done for Kansas City, he had played a great part in helping getting Kansas City that ring.
Yeah.
2014, 15, whenever that was.
15.
And it's nice for Kansas City to pay him out, and kind of like I hate to relate it to the Cardinals, almost like a Yadier Molina.
Yeah,
it's like
definitely.
it's like you deserve this.
That's a great comparison.
But it is exactly like that.
It is, it is.
It's almost like, thank you for doing this. Just stay here.
Yeah.
Sell some tickets for us.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Everyone loves
sell some
Salvi.
tickets, sell some jerseys, T-shirts.
The people love him.
People love
For
Salvi.
good reason. I mean,
Gotta
he
love.
is an
I
incredible
don't think
human
I've
being.
ever seen a baseball player who loves to play the game more than Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
He's always smiling.
Yeah.
I have never seen that man without a smile on his face.
It's
I mean, if
special.
I got played to play baseball, I'd be smiling.
I'd be smiling all the time, even if I lost. I was I'm paid to play
The greatest game of all time.
That's right.
Literally.
That's right.
I'm getting paid to play a children's game.
Yeah. This is awesome.
That's
This is awesome.
insane. Yeah.
Also, some injury news in the MLB. Diamondbacks player Zach Gallen injured himself hitting. Sam, you probably have more information on this than I do. I don't even know who Zach Gallen is.
Zach Gallen is a really good young pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had a great year last year. He's going to be a terrific
so he's a pitcher, and he injured himself.
That's why I
hitting.
put it in here. I'm not
Universal
going to go
DH.
back to the DH, but that's kind of why I put it in here.
Universal DH.
And he may not be ready for opening day. It's not a serious injury, but he may not be ready for opening day. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. Because Zach Gallen is a terrific pitcher. How many good young pitchers are going to get hurt hitting the ball when that's not what they're paid to do, but they have to do it because Rob Manfred says they do?
Yeah,
Was he hit by a pitch?
No, he probably
just
swung.
strained
It was
something.
a swing. Yeah, it
Probably
was a swing.
hurt
He
himself
strained
on the
something.
swing.
Yeah, and it's another. I kind of changed topics a little bit, but it's another beautiful prospect that Miami let go.
Yeah,
Miami
he's
had him
from
for
Miami.
not even
Yeah,
a whole
that's
month
right.
before giving him up, and he went on to perform the way he did.
Yep,
It's sad to
exactly.
see another bright star just be.
It's
Like I'm not.
and he'll be.
And it's
like,
not a serious injury.
it's not
but
a serious
it's just
injury.
It's getting annoying.
It's like
getting annoying.
how much more of this crap has to happen before we do something.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
That's what it
That's
feels
exactly
like.
why I put it
Exactly.
down. Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone who's, everyone who loves. I mean, there are some old heads out there who love the unwritten rules, want pitchers to hit. Those people. I mean, I have nothing left for them because they're just
Yeah.
going to keep
Plugging up the game.
They're just going to keep. They're going to keep, continuing the old guard of pitchers have to hit and do this, that, and no shift. Need to do away. I've seen some
The
stuff
no
about
shift people.
I've seen some stuff about MLB maybe limiting the shift, so you're taking away a
No.
completely legal part of game plan.
A strategic
That's like
part of the
Yeah.
game.
that is like taking away a 2-3 zone in basketball.
Yeah.
or a certain coverage in
Or
football.
it's like, you're blocking our punts. You can't send that many people.
Yeah.
Stay over there.
It's like
back up.
if
Yeah.
you want to have the shift go down, hit the ball the other way.
Thank you.
Hit it the other way. You're a
Be
major league
unpredictable.
hitter.
Quit being so predictable.
That
That's
just
really
makes,
what it is.
It makes no sense though, too. Why are your pitchers having batting practice? That'd be like your quarterback kicking field goals.
Exactly.
getting hurt
Thank
by
you.
your-
Exactly.
Like if you're not practicing
Here's-
bunts, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If Rob Manfred is going to make them hit, I understand why they would have some sort of a batting practice
Yeah.
because I know they are easy outs. But if they're gonna have to hit in the 9-hole every day, you want them to maybe every once in a while get a hit or two.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be to that point. We shouldn't have. If they shouldn't have to hit, if Rob Manfred says they should, I mean, if there was a universal DH, they wouldn't be taking BP. Because there isn't a universal DH, I understand why they're taking BP. It is an annoyance, but I mean they don't. Even though they will be forever, they will be an easy out as long as they're still hitting.
Well, there's a couple.
There's a
that
few.
aren't.
And
Madison Bumgarner, Zach Greinke, not easy outs.
Then the other thing about it too is those guys are competitors. They don't want to strike out swinging every time they go up to the plate, no matter if your name is Bumgarner or if you're just a normal other pitcher at the plate. You
I
don't
feel
want to
like
strike out swinging.
if
every
I was a
time down the
pitcher
middle.
going up there, I'd just put the bat on my shoulders, like, okay, give me 3 fastballs down the middle. Let me go back to the
Most of
dugout.
them don't want to be hitting to begin with, but if they're stuck there, you want to not look stupid.
Yeah.
And you know how you don't look stupid? Just put your bat on your shoulder.
Honestly,
Don't
you're
attempt.
right.
Don't attempt.
You're right. Don't even try to do anything.
And I think we're going to see a lot of pitchers do that. Not only
A little protest on
that
Yeah.
would prove their point. Exactly.
to prove their point, like, okay, you want us to hit? We're not going to hit.
We're just
Yeah.
gonna stand there.
We're going to stand there. We're going to let our fellow pitcher, strike us out,
Right.
pad his stats, and
Exactly right.
Well, nothing. I will say it's pretty exciting when your pitcher comes up with a runner on second and gets a little bloop single over
That
second
is
base.
fun.
I mean, it's fun, but I
it's
can.
just not worth it.
It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's fun,
I do-
but I don't need to see
As
it.
one side as I feel about this, that this shouldn't be a thing anymore. I'm trying to see both sides to it. So
Yeah,
there is
fair.
still some
and like
highlights.
there is
There are.
obviously it's fun when a pitcher gets a hit and drives in runs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But is that a reasonable argument or a reasonable advantage to possibly to on the other side of it having
There's too
injured
big of a
pitchers?
disadvantage.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get what you
I'd
mean.
rather see those pitchers healthy and on the mound than
and
not.
And implementing that DH definitely adds a little bit more strategy because let's say,
Also, it opens up more opportunity. I mean, it opens up more strategy, but opens up opportunities for other players.
I was just
too.
about, it just makes more room for more players. Exactly.
Because
And-
guys like Edgar Martinez and David Ortiz would be nothing without the DH.
Yeah,
Literally
exactly.
nothing.